Okay, I'll be quiet now.
That'll never happen.
Anything I have is yours, even my kidney.
Yes. Hello, I'm Donna Mills.
Oh, really? Hello, I'm Michelle Lee, and we're
We're not
not
done
done
yet.
yet.
See,
I only did that because you were very perky. You were very perky, more perky than usual. Hello.
sometimes I'm just perky. I have on pink. You get
It's a
perky when you
pink
wear pink.
perky. Yeah, you know what? Get the hell off this camera with that pink. No one's going to look at me. They're only going to look at that pretty pink. It is a pretty color.
Thank you. Thank you. So, we ought to tell the folks out there why we're just you and me.
I know I hate being just with
I
you.
know. Well, thank you. Um, I didn't think of it quite that way, but yeah, poor Joan hurt her back.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's still recovering, so she's not
the
going to be with
back.
us today.
Oh, the back is the worst. I was in the hospital once for a month with a bad back. I was in my 30s.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
ask.
Oh,
Later, another time you can ask me.
yeah,
No,
okay.
it's awful, the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, so we feel really, really bad. We're wishing her all the best, all,
Yeah, we miss her.
speedy recovery, and we miss her. And I hope she knows that. And
You know, I got to tell you, I'm just remembering that, oh, that Mac, I'm going to call him Mac, Mac McKenzie, the actor.
yeah.
Right. He actually hurt himself doing a scene. He
Oh,
was running, yeah, he was running downstairs toward me, and he all of a sudden screamed and fell. And he was what happens when it explode his back exploded.
oh God.
And he had to go immediately to the hospital. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh,
Yeah, Kevin
that's
Dobson.
too bad. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Almost on camera.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, that's a shame. Well, hopefully, keep fingers crossed she's going to be, better soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah.
Have you seen, almost no one has seen Nuremberg. Have you?
No, I haven't, but I've heard it's fabulous.
It is. It's more than fabulous. You know, I love to use fabulous. It's beyond belief. You've never seen anything like it, but it is. It is. I saw it twice actually because it was so brilliantly done, and it's not what the audience expects. Because Nuremberg, okay, the trials of the heads of the Nazi regime. Hitler was already dead. He committed suicide. And this movie is another kind of movie. It was behind the scenes, what really happened, which is
Hmm.
startling. And James Vanderbilt did uh, I think he wrote it too, but directed it. And wait until you see Russell Crowe. This is a slam dunk nomination. Wait till you
Oscar.
see him. Not only is he speaking German, but he does the German accent through the whole thing, and the character as he plays it is so frightening. He always has this smirk
Hmm. Wow.
on him. And then Rami Malek, you know, that guy,
Yes, I love
anything
him.
he does with those big brown eyes. He plays so they'll know a little bit. He plays a psychiatrist. This
Wow.
really happened. They have a psychiatrist talking to the prisoners.
Wow.
And I can't actually tell you more than that, but it is so fascinating as this psychiatrist is trying to get into the head of Duran. You have
Oh,
to see it.
Yeah. Did you see it in the theater?
Actually, I wish I could have. I don't even know if it's in the theater, but I hate to say I'm an Academy member and you're not, but no, they used to sell us. They used to send us these wonderful DVDs,
Hmm.
and now they screen it on the Academy station for us. So I don't know if it's out. Have you heard that?
I think it's in the theaters now. I
Ah,
think. I'm not positive.
the horrible thing about seeing the um, Golden Globes, okay, is that so you get your Clooney's being nominated,
Hmm.
and no one, they didn't nominate Nuremberg or any of the people involved in it with the most brilliant acting, directing, photographing, anything you could believe.
Hmm.
Not one nomination. Ask me why? Because it wasn't out and seen before the Golden Globes. How could that happen?
Yeah. Well,
Unbelievable.
it'll be up for Academy Awards then.
Oh, I'm sure, but there's a momentum that happens in terms of people seeing
Yeah,
awards. Oh, this one has
it's
this and
true.
that and the
It's
other.
true.
Okay, I'll be quiet now.
That'll never happen.
Oh,
Folks, just so
probably
you
not.
know.
Herbert, I have to watch some of these over again because I'm sure they're shutting me off in the booth. I go
Yes,
on and on and on
they
and
do
on,
have
and
that
I think I'm
button.
so funny.
Yeah,
What?
no, they have that button, Michelle. It's the shut up Michelle button.
You got, I'm sure there is one. Okay. That was funny. Oh, shut
I got a
up,
funny.
Michelle.
Yay.
Like you.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
you're so cute. Hi, I'm Michelle Lee. Why don't you join us today? We're not done yet.
Oh God, look at her. She's mad.
I need a job.
Should we bring on our guest, my dear?
Oh my God. Of course we should. Because, a couple of weeks ago, you had Tanya, your daughter from Knots Landing, is she a joy?
She is.
Oh
She is.
my
Yep.
God. It's like people who, and I know the person I'm bringing up has the same kind of thing where they're so into life that there is a light and
Yeah.
there it is and there it isn't. Anyway, there's a light that shines on them and they grab whoever they're talking to and bring them into the picture.
Yeah.
So I'm going to introduce now, everybody. Claudia Lonow played my daughter on Not Sliding. It's like we have daughters. And when I first met this incredibly, brilliantly, she does everything. Not only did she act and acted a lot, but she became a comedian. And then she did improv. And oh gosh, she did everything.
Yeah.
She produced several I would say Broadway shows. Hello, everybody. I'm a
No, the comedy series, right?
comedy series,
Yeah.
more than one. And I want to introduce her and see her shine now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Claudia Lonow.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's Claudia. Yay.
baby, baby. Oh my God. Oh my God. So everybody in the booth, is she being seen now, or am I asking a very stupid question? Is this my Claudia? And are we actually?
I
Yes, we are.
Oh,
yes.
we are. Hi, everybody. I'm Shelley.
We knew that.
Claudia.
We knew that.
Claudia, you
Claudia,
know what?
hello.
Hi, Donna. Hi,
We do.
Michelle.
Hi, honey. I took on this last episode, we talked about the incredible people we had on the show, and Tanya was on the show, and now you, and also these two incredible daughters of
Yeah.
That's right.
Was
That is
on
right.
the show, but it was only vocal then. We were not filming as we are now, or
Yeah.
whatever this is called.
Yeah.
But now we can see your face. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And we wanted everybody else to be able to see you and, us to be
Oh,
able to see you. So it's really nice to have you with us today.
it's so great to see both of you. And I love Tanya, who I guess would have been my cousin on the show.
What?
She was my cousin. Tanya's character was my cousin.
That's right.
If
You're right. I
Donna
didn't
was
even think
my
of that.
aunt, then Tanya was my cousin. I think that's how it works.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
because
Yeah,
didn't know
Michelle,
that.
you were Tanya's aunt.
aunt, right? Because
Yes.
Donna's Sid's sister,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so there you go. So I love cousin Tanya.
I love where you're sitting because it's magical. I love that you did your whole set after you talked to Donna Mills. And you, you said, Donna, what are you wearing today? And Donna said, this. Only she didn't do this. I did. Anyway,
Thank you,
you're,
thank you, thank you. This is my upstairs office, aka my lair, and it is. I've got a pink ceiling, as you can see.
oh, look at it. It's so happy.
Thank
Oh,
you. And
it's
I decorated this air conditioner with pink sparkles because it is so
Oh,
hideous.
what a great
you
idea.
did that to
Thank
match
you.
my blouse, right?
I did. I knew it telepathically.
Well, I know we talked before, but I'm going to ask some questions that maybe I've asked before. A lot of the answers I already know. But
Yes.
you've lived such an incredible life. Certainly everybody loved you on Knots Landing. Wait, did you do other shows before Knots Landing?
You know what? The pilot for Knots Landing was my second job, and I got it the week I was filming my first job, which was I was on the Mary Tyler Moore variety show sitcom that only went for 13 episodes.
What was it
And
called?
I think it was called Mary.
Oh,
Michael Keaton was in
oh,
it. Michael
Wow.
Keaton, a young Michael Keaton. Joyce DeWitt. No,
oh,
yes?
I know Joyce.
Okay. Possibly that's her name.
Joyce DeWitt. I did one of
Sorry.
my very first shows with her in theater. Yeah.
I think it was a different person. Everybody Google it. And I played Mary Tyler Moore's goddaughter who had run away from Iowa with my accent and to go to Hollywood to be a big star like her Aunt Mary. And it was like a behind the scenes of Mary Tyler Moore's variety show. And so the guest on the variety show for that week was Johnny Mathis. Anyway, it was unbelievable. It was a big part. I mean, I
Did
don't
you
even
say
know.
Johnny Mathis?
Johnny Mathis.
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
He did, I think you can find it on YouTube. He did a medley with Mary Tyler Moore about how he likes the city, but she likes the country. So I think, all this in our mountain greenery, all that's, it was so much fun. But that week I auditioned for Knots. I think I got it that week. It was
Oh
crazy.
my
I mean, I
God.
was in high school.
I remember when I came in and met my kids, you, the
Yeah.
oldest, and my two sons. I get choked up when
Yes.
later we'll talk. I still get choked up with that kid.
Yeah, me too.
One of my sons, I don't, we'll talk about it later, but
Okay.
very emotional. But I saw the three of you when I walked in and I said, oh, they're too old for me.
this is the one who didn't want to ever be a grandmother on the show.
Ah, right. Oh, I bet you put it in your contract.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You never wanted to be a grandmother, but I explained why. I'm a good businesswoman. Ask me why I put it in my contract.
Why did you put it in your contract,
I put in my
Michelle?
contract because were at a certain age at the time. The show was successful, and if I played a grandmother now, on this big successful show, Knots Landing. That's in their head. I'll play now grandmother roles. So I told them not to make me a grandmother, not because of ego, it was business.
Yeah, no, I get you. I trust me, I believe you, and I know you were right. But well, I looked pretty young when I mean I
No,
was
I know, but
14.
still too old for me. Anyway,
So for you, but you can't have a you can you know you can
She
only
wanted you to be a baby.
a baby, but you can't
She
have
wasn't too old to have a baby.
you can't have meaty, scenes with a baby. And we had some meaty scenes, and we had our the episode that was sort of like the turning point, but Knots Landing with you and Jessica Walter, remember? And the
oh,
fashion show.
oh my God.
And I
I
mean,
keep
you
I don't
you
saying
remember that. Tell me
VOD. I'm sorry.
you
what
don't remember?
what
Oh
was
my
that?
God. Okay, so I don't remember first of all, it was the one where Jessica Walter played Michelle's best friend from college. It was literally the plot of The Turning Point.
It
And
was.
Jessica had moved to New York and become a big fashion designer, but Karen had gotten married and had kids, one of which was this daughter.
Old
And it
person.
was the war for my soul. And then there was a big fashion show at the end. I mean, Donna, you got to watch this
Oh,
on.
Was
I
I
can't.
at that fashion show?
Oh yeah, you were
yes,
in
I
it.
think
You
you
were in
were.
it. Yeah,
Huh.
I came out. I was wearing like a fur hat, and I had a fur muff, and I mean, my outfit was
Don't talk about
insane.
your mom. Anyway, here's what I want to ask you about because
Yes.
the audience
Okay.
knows you and they don't know you. And I know you for so many levels, not just working with you, which was a joy,
Yes.
but watching you. Listen, I'm an old grandmother. And I watched this woman become the incredible writer, actress, producer, and just did a movie.
Yes, I did. I just made a
Tell them a little
movie
bit.
that I sent you, and I'll send it to you, Donna, too. There's a link. I made a movie with my family. My daughter, Izzy Rowland, is internet famous. I know, for us, we don't know what it means, but she's on a comedy app called Dropout with my son-in-law, who is very famous on the
Oh,
internet.
Rappaport.
Not Rappaport, not, but
Oh, okay.
but that's my brother is also famous. But my daughter Izzy Rowland and my son-in-law Brennan Lee Mulligan. And so my daughter wrote this movie that was based on an idea I had. And we shot it in like with my parents are in it, my daughter's in it, my son-in-law is in it, my boyfriend is in it, and we had a sort of like a tour that went. We were in England, we were in Amsterdam, we sold 15,000 tickets. We didn't even think we'd get in the theater, and then we had an online, like virtual red carpet thing that ran for 3 days. And the next thing is we're going to release it paid video on demand, and it's called Dead. And if you
Dead,
want Dead, and if you
like,
want all the information, you can go to deadthefilm.com. I directed it, and there's a trailer. You'll get a kick out of it. Because, I mean, and if you're a Knots Landing fan, you're really going to get a kick out of it because I'm in
oh
it.
my gosh. But this just is an example of the many, many, many things you've done, and you've led a life that was is very
It's
interesting.
very
I'm not
interesting.
okay. Other than me asking about your boyfriend and how that's going,
Yes.
oh, your eyes widened.
He's great. He's great. My boyfriend, well, he's been a lot of things too, but the thing he's most famous for is he was the maitre d' in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
In
if
what?
yeah, so just go look that up. He's the guy with the mustache who says, "I weep for the future." Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago, blah blah blah. But I met him. He was a stand-up comic, and I met him at my stepfather's comedy club. And he became a writer and a director, and he created and worked on a lot of TV shows too. So that was kind of how, not how I got into that, but it was inspiration of how I got into that because, besides not slanting, my stepfather's one of the owners of the Improv. My mother was a comic. I used to hang out at the Improv. I started writing after the show was over for me. And eventually, and I was writing screenplays that never went anywhere and doing stand-up. But eventually I thought, Claudia, you know all these stand-up comics and they all write on television. Why don't you try to write television? Because you don't know anybody who does movies, but you know Jerry Seinfeld, you know everybody. And that took a while, but then my first writing job that I got paid for was I created a semi-autobiographical show called Rude Awakening that I think you were on, Donna, and I tried to get you on, Michelle.
Wait a
But
minute, Donna was on Rude Awakening,
Awakening,
and
yes, you were,
my
and
voice
I
got
tried to
really
get
big.
you on, but you didn't want to do
But
it.
they said no.
You said no, you said no. It was okay. It was on Showtime, and you would, anyway. And it was about a former nighttime soap opera actress who gets sober. That was me. And Sherilyn Fenn played a more famous, more drunk version of me. That's basically it. And Lynn Redgrave played her mother.
Oh,
And Tim Curry was on it. Roger Daltrey was on it for a
how
while.
long did it run?
It ran for 55 episodes. It was on Showtime. It was before the fancy Showtime shows. So it was like after Hollywood Hot Tubs, but before Weeds. So it was a very low budget show. I mean, I could say the joke that I use is it was the real showrunner training program. And we made it,
Whoa.
our budget was 500,000 an episode.
No.
And I mean, we had one swing set that was a prison, so people had to get arrested all the time.
Where did you shoot? Where did you shoot it?
We shot it at that Hollywood studio on Las Palmas and Santa Monica. It's a
Oh yeah.
small
I
studio,
think I sang there once.
Yeah, no, you've been there. It has, it has like, it's a small studio.
Very
Small
venue. Yeah.
studio in a sketchy part of town. But it was like the most, I mean, it was my first job was I'm running a show.
She
I
was the
mean,
showrunner. Look at this
Wow.
person
Wow.
at the
so
same time and sold it
yes,
and was in it.
I wrote the script on spec. Okay, I had my home number on the front page of the script. I was living with my parents, with my daughter, and I was waiting to find out, is this going to happen? And there was a horoscope in the Los Angeles Times while I was waiting that
Oh,
said, people who thought you were down and out are in for a rude awakening. Everyone will be shocked. And I thought, this is going to happen. This is going to
I
happen.
want you to tell everybody about your rude awakening. I do,
Oh,
because
okay.
if you don't mind, go into that. It's
Go into
like,
it.
and it
Okay.
started Knots Landing or before Knots Landing. I don't know, but the atmosphere in which you worked because of your mom and your stepfather, and
Yes.
that you were in a world that was, would I say, out of bounds or awkward or whatever for a young girl normally.
Normally, I think that, like I said, both my parents were actors, but a joke is struggling actors who struggled more often than they acted. But my stepfather
That's
got the
funny.
movie, Thank God It's Friday, and that's how we moved out here. But we lived in a one-bedroom apartment in Beverly Hills, and my parents slept on a piece of foam in the living room.
No.
And across the street from Beverly, so I could go there. And that first year from New York, I mean, I couldn't have been more miserable. I mean, I lived in Greenwich Village and now I'm at Beverly Hills High. It was like that movie, The Slums of Beverly Hills. I hated everybody. And the feeling was mutual. I was so like, you don't know anything. I know everything, Anyway, but I knew I wanted to be an actress. I had gone to that acting camp in New York, State Shore Manor, if people know it. And at a certain point, my stepfather's agent came to dinner at our apartment. And
Was that
so
Rappaport?
no, Mark Lonow.
No,
My
I'm not
stepfather's
Rappaport.
oh,
You're not
that's a whole other story. He's my half brother. We have the same father, but my stepfather is Mark Lonow. Anyway, Mark's
Just do the asterisk for the audience and tell them who we're talking about and then go back.
yes, okay. Asterisk, my half brother is Michael Rappaport, and we have the same father, and he's very fantastic. And he became a comic. I brought him out here. Let's just say that.
Okay, great. I wanted to know. I
You
wanted
want
them
to
to.
know? I brought him to the improv when he was 15, and he was in New York. He was like, you know, getting kicked out, very disruptive. As you know, that's his tagline, be disruptive. But he came to the improv and he was like over 6 feet tall. Everybody loved him. And it was like, you know what? In show business, having a big mouth in a stand-up comedy club is quite an asset. So that is how that happened.
Right.
But that was while I was on the show. Anyway, so my stepfather, Mark Lonow's agents came over for dinner. And after dinner, I got my guitar, of course, as one does, and played them a song that I used to play everywhere that got a lot of laughs. The name of the song was Fuck the World.
Fuck the world.
The world. Mm.
Fuck the World. It was a funny song. It's like, a teenage angsty song, but it was funny. It was a surprise when I say fuck the world. So it's a big laugh. Anyway, my stepfather's agent says, can we send her out on things? And we all thought, it'll be good experience. She probably won't get anything. But it turns out that I was very good at that age and had a lot of balls. I really was full of myself, like I said, and I did very well. And I got that Mary Tyler Moore show thing like in 3 months. It was like a lead part on a guest star. I mean, it was a big, I did the balcony speech from Romeo and Juliet in that show. It was an hour. So,
Wow.
you got an hour to fill. And then I
Wow.
got Knots Landing. So when I started on the show, our knowledge of how this was going to work was non-existent. But somehow I seem to thrive in experiences where I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just supposed to pretend like I can do it, and I did. And then the sort of my reason I got sober happened principally because, well, it was the 80s and I was playing a teenager and I was under a lot of stress. And keeping my weight the same was, I would say, absolutely not something I was capable of doing. And so
Right.
I will tell you another joke. This is from my stand-up act. I finally found the perfect way to maintain my goal weight: cocaine.
Wow.
And that put
Yeah.
me on what I call the accelerated program of having a big problem.
Yeah.
And I would say it lasted a very short period of time when I look back. Like I had a year maybe of like going on a luge. And then I was off the show, and then I happened to tumble my way, without being too specific, into a way to get sober. And I got sober when I was 22.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
and I have to say, I mean, the first time I tried, I was 21, and I was like, how could this be a problem? I mean, I just became legal to drink. This is crazy. But then, I don't know, I found a community that worked for me. And then it took me a long time to figure out what my next chapter in life would be.
Did you
But,
find that community through AA?
well, you're not supposed to be so specific, but so I usually say various 12-step health group.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
did. I
Okay.
did. I
yeah.
mean, it's a
Mhm.
podcast. I don't know.
I know a lot of people in your club.
I mean, it was,
No, I
you
know.
know, back then there was like a trend of that. So, in the comedy community, I wasn't the only person who
Of course
stumbled
not.
into sobrieties. Robin Williams, Carrie Fisher, you'd see people like that. And so I thought, wow, seems fun.
Tony Hopkins, who
Right.
got sober the day after he fell asleep under my piano. I'm
Oh
not kidding.
my
And he talks about
God.
it. And he
Oh yeah.
actually says my name. I've heard him. So in the same room. Oh, yeah. I fell asleep under her piano. And the next day I went to my first meeting. He talks about it.
Yeah, and it was sort of like, well, this is just like hanging out at the improv, but nobody's drinking. I think I could do this. There were a lot of young people, is what I'm trying to say. I wasn't the
Yeah.
only very young person.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
in West Hollywood, where I lived at that time, it was a fun place to be. So it didn't seem hard. That is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't like, oh, so difficult. It was like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of cute guys. Sure. But it took me a while to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And so I'd say after that, I called like from 22 to 34, where I dramatically called my years wandering in the desert. And then,
Yeah.
and then I created a TV show. And my joke at that time was, oh my God, every 14 years, something unbelievable happens to me. It's just like,
Right.
first I was on television, now I'm running a TV show. It's like, how did that happen?
Going through something as you did, and I'm sorry I brought it up. Maybe you didn't want to
That's
go
okay. Don't
into
worry about it. I love to
it. Okay.
talk.
But anyway, I guess a lot of people knew because you've been vocal
Yes.
in some ways. But
Yeah, I made a
I
TV show
that
about it.
was it was a good thing while it was not so good for you to go through that because you started to find yourself. Who am I? What do I really want?
Absolutely. I was very lucky to be where I was when I was. That is what I'll say. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time to find a good solution for myself. Not saying it worked for everybody. And I was, and whatever jokes I make about my parents, I had enough of a foundation to say, oh, I mean, like real life is about to enter into your world, Miss Claudia Lonow, and I don't think you're going to be able to deal with it if you don't have your act together, because
Right.
I've been on TV since I was 15. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't. I drove that crazy car. Do you remember the car I had? I didn't even know where people buy a new car, and I didn't know how to ask. And I had that 1968 Buick Skylark convertible. I had this crazy car I had bought off the street
No.
with my stepfather. And I had that car. It would break down. It had the same cassette stuck in it for months. I cannot hear the Elvis Costello Get Happy cassette without feeling slightly buzzed. And I mean, sometimes I'd remember to have pliers and pull it out. I mean, it was crazy. I had all these parking tickets. I mean, I was, that, and the crew would make fun of me, like about this car.
Did you
And
have
also,
that? Did you have that while you were on Knots?
oh yeah, I had a crazy
Oh my
car.
God, I
I
don't
had
remember
this,
you seeing you in that car.
oh, well, it wasn't like something to brag about. I used to call it Monty after Montgomery Clift. I mean, I was very like, I'm edgy, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, honey, you play a valley girl on a soap opera. I don't know how edgy you are. But yeah. so it was like, all of a sudden when I was not on the show, it was like, how do you open a bank account? How do you do your laundry? I mean, I had one time I dropped my clothes off at a dry cleaner, forgot which dry cleaner, and like a year later, oh, I think it's Holloway, and I didn't have my driver's license. I brought in a headshot. The clothes are under. I mean, how much do you think I'd go to all this trouble to get a headshot with my name on it? Give me clothes.
That's so Hollywood.
It's a funny story. Well, it's such a funny
Is.
story that you can see why it inspired that TV show. That was basically the genesis of it. And the fictional TV show on Rude Awakening was called Emerald Bluff. And and the character was Diana Gateway. And and it was funny. It was like really crazy. It was an unbelievable opportunity because I got to sort of explore my own backstory through this half-hour dark comedy on Showtime. It was like Fleabag before Fleabag.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like, oh, here's a crazy story that happened to me. And then, we would and then we also exaggerated a lot because, I'm not that adventurous. Well, I hung out at my parents' comedy club. It's not like I went, as soon as I was like worried about having enough money for drugs, and I go, well, how do people get drugs when they don't have money? And so easy to get.
Pick them up.
I know. I was like, and I went, oh, I'm not, what do they go to a street in the middle of nowhere and yell out the window? And as soon as that became like a difficult thing, I went, oh, that's not for me. Sounds like a lot of work. I'm not doing that. I'm not dating people to get drugs. That sounds not like, it's not Claudia friendly.
Wow.
Claudia likes things to be right there.
And during all this time,
Yes.
how was your kidney functioning?
That is so funny, Donna.
Oh, I know what you meant. Okay.
Do you know that you don't know this, but this is so funny, especially the way my mom expressed this. When I came back on the show, which was fantastic, by the way, and in the last season, like right when around that, I got a kidney infection. And my mother said, it's psychosomatic. It's psychosomatic. You went back on that show and it's psychosomatic. You gave yourself a kidney infection. But I don't think so. I think it's like a UTI that didn't get cured. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but I mean,
The audience has to know what you're talking about.
Okay, so one of my biggest episodes, cycles, double episodes. I went to a private session with Nina Foch, the legendary acting
really?
teacher.
Oh gosh, I worked with her once.
Of course, for this big episode, I took out an ad in Variety, was I get kidney disease. I'm going to be on dialysis. I'm going to pull the dialysis out, lots of screaming, lots of crying, but then I'm saved. Oh, and nobody is a match except for my Aunt Abby, which led to one of my favorite scenes, Donna, with you, which we had trouble getting through because it is a funny line. Anything I have is yours, even my kidney.
Yes. How do you actually say that?
No,
It took me a
no.
while. Yeah, anything I have is yours, even my kidney. And we were like, that's pretty cheesy, but it was,
And then Michelle had to ask me to give it.
Yeah.
it was like, I was David Jacobs, who I loved, would talk to me like I was a grown. Well, everybody talks to you. Back then, everybody talked to people like they were grown-ups. My childhood was definitely not treating people like a child when they're a child. But he said to me, "This is Donna's big redemption episode because she's done a lot of bad things, this season. So this kidney thing, that's what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Listen, I was glad for it, you know.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
I was
so
glad for it.
great.
I was always glad for something that made her a whole person, not just the villainous, not just the red girl, but made her human.
Well, that's what made
Right.
it a great character. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why, I mean, I did, I've done like this stand up thing, and there's these guys who do a podcast. By the way, they're going to die when I tell them about this. And I say, like, I have so few remaining fans, I could all have them all over for dinner. But these two guys live in Hollywood, so I've become friends with them. Their podcast is called Sea View Circle. Look for it on YouTube. They do very funny deep dives into Knots Landing. But they love you guys. I mean, they love the show. People have so much passion for it. And I think that it's because the characters had more depth to them than just like, he's a villain, she's the good one, da 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 da. It's always had like sort of like layered emotional backstories. And I know that when I was doing the show, because it took us a while to take off, the thing that I was impressed with was how dedicated everybody was to like the reality of the scenes. Michelle, and like our physical movements in the kitchen scenes,
Yeah.
that shit is hard. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I don't know if you remember, Michelle, and I don't think you will, Claudia, but during the whole run of Knots Landing, we'd be there till 10, 11 o'clock at night. The people from Dallas went home at 5.
yeah.
Not saying anything bad about that show, Dallas. It was a wonderful show. But we were determined to get it right and to get it perfect. And we worked
Absolutely.
extra long hours, and it's an accolade to everybody, the producers who paid for it, who paid
Yes.
for the overtime, us, the actors who did the overtime. There
And
was
we
there was a
were
lot involved.
we
Yeah.
were delivering lines off camera
Yes.
through the whole run of the show. And
Yeah.
none of the other shows did that. When it was time for them to read their lines off camera, they'd ask someone to do it, or
Oh, I
the
would
script
never.
supervisor. Please do that. And they'd go home.
I
Yeah.
think like, from even like I don't know if you guys remember this, but Constance, I knew her in New York when I was a kid. Did you remember that? She was
No,
in,
really? I
I
didn't know
did.
that.
She was in one of my parents' improv groups.
Oh,
So
Oh,
when I mean I was 10 or 8 or whatever, because my joke about that is I've been calling out suggestions since I was 5 years old, plumbers, and because they rehearse in the living room. But Constance was in their improv group. Henry Winkler was in their improv group.
oh,
Another guy who went on to become a big showrunner, Mark Flanagan. So I think I knew Sam, I knew Constance from being a child.
oh, for
And
heaven's sake.
so my sense of the show as with Michelle and with you, Donna, and with Constance, and I think even Ted, was that it had this kind of New York actor, like real acting, not bullshit acting, but real
Yeah,
acting. And and Joan too. I mean, was a very dedicated actor.
right.
In as much as we had like whatever the hair and makeup and all of that mishigas, but but beyond that, it was like, no, this is we gotta, you got the sync has to work. We're getting the thing. We're you felt like this is like people really working a scene, and I loved that. I appreciated it, and I related to it because my mother and stepfather met at HB Studios, so I
Yeah,
heard,
yeah,
as like I said, I was the audience for the show they were doing in our apartment.
yeah,
So I heard about method. another thing, like my mom worked on a scene from The Importance of Being Earnest, I feel like for 2 years or something, but, and I would be the maid.
Yeah. I mean, we actually got to rehearse scenes.
Yes.
You know, a lot of shows they just kind of go in, block the cameras, and shoot it. You know, we actually rehearsed so that the scenes really were alive, really came alive, really meant something.
And some great directors,
Yes.
I mean, I loved Larry Elkin, and I think
Right.
anybody who is into film, if you watch the episodes he did, they're different than the other ones because he was into these very extreme close-ups.
Right. He was the extreme close-up director. Get
He
away
was,
from my face.
he would be like, I'm gonna be right here.
Yeah.
Really got to see it on your face. Be
Right.
right. And he had like those teeth. He
Yeah.
really tried to. And then, oh, that cute guy. I think everybody had a crush. I did.
Ooh.
Inappropriate crush on Jeff Bleckner.
Oh, everybody did. Even me. I locked him in my dressing room once, but
I mean,
we don't have to talk about that
we have
now.
to try, I was 16.
Oh,
Like,
cutie
just like there's
pie.
nobody, him and Jim Houghton. I was like, oh, and it's like, Claudia,
Yeah.
you're a child.
And
But he
remember
was
Craig Denault?
yes, yes. Oh, and
Oh, you
shoot.
crossed your eyes. I know something was going on with the two of you.
No, 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 no. I'm trying to remember. Bill Duke,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Oh,
Big
he was a
tall.
great director.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember he did our. Well, I have a crazy memory, which is one of the reasons I think I became a writer. But because I really do have vivid. I'm not like Mary Lou Hanner, remember the dates and stuff, but I have a big memory. And he directed the scene when we made up after the whole chip incident, being on the run, and a big crying scene for you and me, Michelle. I remember we did it once outside in front of the house, but we were losing the light. But I really liked that one. Then we had to do it again on the steps inside the set. But he was a great director.
Yeah, and he ended up being a big director.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like for that, it was just, I mean, it was an unbelievable training ground, and cool, interesting people, and it was super kind of overwhelming, but like I said, I that's part of my charm is like, hey, yeah, sure, yeah, I'm on TV now. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
of course, this was always going to happen, and it was great, and it was, I had a really good time. I did.
Yeah.
You guys had a good time. I had a
Yeah.
good time, except for when it came to trying my costumes on. Then it was just like, oh my
When it
God.
was?
You didn't
When I
like
had to
trying
put,
your costumes on?
no, because I would gain weight, and it was
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they get like a face, they get like, oh no. My stepfather used to put me on a diet, so it was a little
That's
like,
really interesting. I don't remember you being overweight ever.
oh wow.
Round. She became round, not
Yeah,
round,
I
a
almost got
little.
fired. I almost did get fired for fat. And when I tell people, when I look back at it now, I mean, because it's on Amazon, and I look at like the episodes where I was like in danger of getting too fat to be on TV, I'm like, I look perfectly normal. I don't know, it's crazy, but I did get, a little. Leon's getting larger.
Huh. That's
That's an
interesting.
airplane
Remember when
reference.
we did the song and dance together, which Knox Landing did a few times, but
Yes,
it was a charity for women, for ERA,
yes,
and raising money. And the two of us, we rehearsed one day. I forgot. Somebody gave us all the steps and everything,
yes.
and we
I
were adorable.
It was one of the greatest things ever. I mean, it is such like a capsule of, at least for my life. I mean, you cannot even, you possibly couldn't understand. For me, it was like, okay, so Claudia, you're doing a song and dance with a Broadway star. Okay, you're in high school. And now you were like, doing this thing. And it's like, yeah, sure, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now. And because I grew up in show business, I mean, I knew everything about you. I knew everything about Donna because my stepfather says he knew some old boyfriend of yours, Donna. I can't remember the guy's name.
Really?
Oh, I want
Yes.
to hear it.
Who did you date in New York? Possibly in the 70s.
There were a few.
Who might have been connected to Warren Roberts' studio. That was like one of their acting coaches, and then they were at HB. I'll text you when I get the name. I can't pull it up, but my step.
Slut.
Huh.
She's
That's
such a slut. And I love you for it.
wow. That's interesting. Now I'm curious who that
I'll
was.
find out. I'll find out.
Yeah.
He'll be like, wow, my stepfather's got a good memory. But anyway, the point is doing this number was just like, I couldn't believe it. It was amazing, Michelle. It's so adorable. It's so cute.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
poignant. And it's also,
What, do you
also,
know what year it was in?
yeah, it was in like 1981.
Was
Oh,
it?
so it was in the first year of the
Mm.
show?
One of the
Oh,
first couple of years. I think it was the second season. Yeah.
wow.
Second or third season. And the backstory about it was Diana possibly thinking, contemplating, but not going through with losing her virginity. And it was
Oh,
also directed and written by women, which was a big deal. Kim
yes.
Friedman directed it. I was, okay, I was working on a solo show stand-up thing about this one episode. So I was watching it recently, and that show that was great. But it's so funny because that was like a big deal, and also the fact that we were doing a fundraiser for the ERA, which people are still trying to get past. And
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like that's a long time ago. That's a long time. It's a
Yeah.
long
And
time
we're
to
still at it.
still at it. And that Karen's, character was sort of like this, you know, firebrand, it's so great. It's a great
And
show, everybody. You should
Claudia,
watch it.
I hate to say this, but believe it or not, we're running out of time here. We only
Okay.
get so much.
Okay.
And
Oh my
so
gosh,
we're
I
gonna,
can't believe
you'll
it.
have to come back another time, okay?
Sure,
No, I'm going
absolutely.
to drag you back
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
because you're a very, not just talented, but interesting person. It's so great to have these reminiscences.
Yeah, it
I
is.
agree. I just want to say I love you guys, and thank you so much for asking me to do this. It's just delightful for me. It really is.
Oh, I'm
And
glad it's delightful to have you.
you
It
were big
really is.
influences on me and wonderful role models for a young person to be around, and I appreciate it.
Ah,
Oh,
thank you.
we are going to get together.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
We are going to get together.
we will. And
Okay.
I emailed you, so we can. There you go.
Yeah, do it. And I'm going to
Okay.
watch, you know what?
Yes. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye, honey.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
sweetie. We want to say so long
So
to
long.
everybody. We are going to take a little bit of a break over the holidays and take some time off. We'll be back in January.
And you can keep watching us anyway. And
Yeah.
remember to say you love us, thumbs up, and join us.
Yes, and join us and subscribe. That's a big thing to subscribe to us. We would like that a lot, and we'll have more fun guests, more people from Knots, more people not from Knots. Lots and lots of fun stuff. So
And we want to say hello and we love you to Joan Van Ark.
yes, our dear, 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 sweet Joan, we love you. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah. And
You
we wish all
became
of you
Jewish
out
for
there
one
a
moment.
very Merry Christmas, a very happy holiday. And we will miss you, but we'll be back.
Be with family and friends. Very important.
Yeah.